Hi everyone. Okay, welcome to part 2 of sea monkeys after 20 weeks or 20 weeks old sea monkeys. In part 1 I discussed how I knew that these were indeed around 20 weeks old sea monkeys uh, and details of me trying for them to having babies again and also combating the black spot disease and other issues that I run into. Also, now I got a thermometer that shows me the environment temperature that says in and the water sensor temperature that says out. And this last thing I mentioned uh, right now, it's still a little higher. Normally I put it a little lower airflow. But I mentioned why I would increase either to dissolve salt that I have been adding or uh, to remove surface food after a feeding. I will increase the airflow because removing the food from the surface reduces the chance of fungi in the surface. Also, now that we are getting drier, I'm in a winter-prone area, and the temperature you saw in the here they say 52%, but already have gone down to 40%. So that means with the bubbling and the low humidity, the water evaporates much faster. So that means I'm running faster through these guys, and that's it. So this is at this point, this tank itself is I think about 4 weeks, maybe 5. But the sea monkeys came from this tank, this tank here, yeah, that one, that now is empty, and I let it evaporate. That tank is 20 weeks old, and these sea monkeys are 20 weeks old. Okay, so what I was going to talk right now. So I was frustrated that still I could not make them do live bearing babies. So I read in the forums that someone increased the feeding rate, and they noted that babies started showing up. Last year I tried that, but I made the mistake of trying to keep the water murky, very close to murky. So it looks like that was too much. And after a month, the adults did fine, but no babies. Also, last year I didn't know about the benefits of raising the salinity levels, so I was with the very low salinity levels. So at this point already, because there were so many, as I said before I did the move, there were almost the double of males, 2 males per each female. So at that point already for a few weeks already I was doing what I have done for months, 3 feedings a week, not 2 days in a row, but instead I increase, instead of 1 spoon per feeding, I increased to 2 level spoon per feeding, 3 times a week, no 2 days in a row. And the water was getting clear and they were doing great, no problem, but no baby still. Okay, so I decided to experiment 2 weeks ago, and as you can see, let me change this. I have 4 kind of foods. This says once a week. So what I have done, since I'm weekly based, I only use it in the weekly feeding only on Mondays and Fridays, and only one level scoop. You will see in a moment. What I started 2 weeks ago is that always of the 2 level scoops, I will use the traditional, the most common, always one of these. So I have been feeding at least one of these every day for 2 weeks. Then what I do for the second week is that I alternate between these two, unless it's Monday or Friday, that then I use this one as the second level scoop. So I continue 2 level scoops, except that the first one is this, and then the second one is one of those 3. And I have been doing that every day for 2 weeks. Well, so what happened is in the 3rd day, when I started that, babies started showing up. So the factor is the temperature was closer to 75 at that time. The cool off have not started. Right now it's 73. That is not bad. And so I continue doing that because although the water got hazy, a little cloudy, like right now, actually, let me show you what how it gets, because I plan to continue. It's already have been 2 weeks, and babies stopped showing up, but as you can have seen the video, they are juveniles. I had not had juveniles with adults in a really long time. And if you see my older videos, you see that what I have named disappearing baby syndrome is having a big issue. And the only solution I had, if I had a lot of babies, I had to move the okay, so I put one of these already. And today is Wednesday, so on Wednesday, Monday, on Wednesday, I used this one. Okay, not using much time. Come on. Yes, it gets always more difficult to open it. And for the records, those that are new, I have been, if you see my previous videos, I started in June of 2019. So yes, all these that you see here, well, not these are only 20 weeks, but I have other tanks that I train other stuff, and some of those are descendants of colonies that are more than a year old, but you can check my other videos. So anyhow, you saw that I added 2 whole leveled scoops, and it did not get that cloudy. And I have been doing this for 2 weeks. Today will be 2 weeks and 1 day. So to summarize, after day 3rd, there were babies. More babies show up, like day 4, day 5, day 6. But after weeks, day 7, less. Oh, let me put it near so you can see my details. Sorry about that. The babies start showing up, although you can see that they are juveniles. Since then, it has been a week, and I have not seen new babies, although the juveniles are doing fine. They are growing. Actually, it's the first time I see juveniles with so many adults for a really long time. So what I don't know if it's right, we reached the limit of juveniles and adults, so or simply the this will be in cycles, and if I continue feeding them every day for 2 weeks. They will drop live bearing babies again, and we will have new juveniles. I don't know. So I will continue feeding them every day as long as the water do not get murky. 2 small scoops of food, level scoops, the small one, alternating as I mentioned before, to see if that prompts babies to be born at a regular intervals. Yeah, it's a lot of food, but as you can see, that have been 2 weeks, and yeah, there is a lot of particles. Yes, the water is a little cloudy, but it's not getting murky and it's not getting more cloudy. So we'll see. So yes, important. A big difference from the last time I tried this. It should be higher now because I have been adding plasma at a rate of 6 small level scoop of plasma each other day. I plan to do this week, maybe next week. I explained in the other video why. And so the salinity should be closer to 20 ppt or part per thousand. So I don't know if the salinity is a factor that helps with this, but and definitely temperature have been between 73 and 76 Fahrenheit. So yeah, we know that temperature is a factor also. So, and I have in a way supposedly a small enough submersible heater that should work in this tank, but that's stay for another video. I don't know how much could increase the temperature, but hopefully could help with that. Anything else? Not at this point. So the point is that apparently increasing safely at the feeding rate as long as the water, it will get cloudy, but if the next day, if you feed again the same quantity and it's clearer than the day before the feeding, then it's okay to do that increased feeding rate because it will not harm them. The problem is if it start getting more cloudy and then it start getting murky, then you know that is the wrong way. That will kill them because it will consume their oxygen because of the bacteria. So as I said, I have been feeding 2 tablespoons of food for 2 weeks every day. Note, there are over 20 big, very old sea monkeys. That means they eat a lot. So don't presume that this will work with younger and less sea monkeys. That's why I say keep an eye on the cloudiness if you try the increased feeding. And 20 ppt and temperature over 70 Fahrenheit look to be good. And as you can see, I have a constant airflow. So will that be the solution to not need to remove the adults? I don't know. I will continue investigating this, but the important thing is that for the first time since I started having the problem of no babies because of too many adults, I got juveniles with the adults. And the time is almost running out. I will continue investigating this. Talk to you guys next time.